Some of the calmest people you'll ever meet are the ones who could afford more, but choose not to. And the reason why has nothing to do with being cheap. Most of us grow up believing that spending equals success. A bigger house, a nicer car, the latest phone. So when we see someone who deliberately spends very little, we label them fast, frugal, boring, extreme. But look closer, and you'll notice something strange. They often seem calmer. Here's the first twist. These people aren't lacking money. They're operating with a different definition of wealth. They're not buying things, they're buying freedom. Henry David Thoreau once said, "A man is rich in proportion to the number of things he can afford to let alone." At first, that sounds like deprivation. But what if it's actually a psychological advantage most people never develop? Here's where the mindset really diverges. Most consumers see price as a number. $50 for dinner, $1,000 for a phone, $40,000 for a car. Simple trade, money for stuff. But people who spend less run a different calculation. They don't see dollars, they see life energy. If you make $20 an hour, that $1,000 phone doesn't cost money. It costs 50 hours of your life. An entire work week you'll never get back. And once you start translating money into time, something breaks. Buying stops feeling like a reward and starts feeling like a trade of something priceless for something temporary. They don't save because they're afraid to spend. They save because they respect their own life. Ask yourself honestly, how many hours of your past are hanging unused in your closet? How many days of your life are parked in your garage? This awareness leads to another realization. Happiness from consumption fades fast. Psychology calls it the hedonic treadmill. New car, excitement, normal. Bigger house, pride, routine. People who spend less have already seen the pattern. They know lasting satisfaction doesn't come from having more, but from needing less. At this point, it sounds like the story is about discipline, about minimalism, about self-control. But that's not it. Here's the misdirection. Many of our purchases aren't for us. They're for status, belonging, keeping up. A nicer car demands nicer clothes, higher insurance, more maintenance. One purchase creates a chain of obligations. People who spend less have quietly stepped out of this game, and that takes courage. Because when your self-worth isn't propped up by price tags, you don't need to prove who you are. They're not poor, they're internally full. There's also safety. Low expenses create something powerful, what Americans casually call "fuck you money." Not arrogance, options. The ability to say no to a toxic boss, to meaningless overtime, to work that drains your health. That buffer doesn't just protect your bank account, it changes how you walk through the world. Straighter posture, better boundaries, decisions made from strength, not fear. When you consume less, something unexpected happens. You gain time. Time for walks, for conversations, for learning, for creating. The best things in life don't have price tags. They require attention. And here's the final question to leave you with. If you stopped buying for a while, what would you actually be missing? If the answer's nothing, you've reached a kind of wealth most millionaires are still chasing. Not a destination, but yourself.